Hey, it's Stuart. I've got a question from Joey, and Joey's asked, or he writes, my partner and I were gifted with a significant amount of money, which allowed us to buy a quality apartment last year in cash. This is not our forever home, and I've just had the thought that we may have made a huge mistake in not getting a loan for this purchase, as we would love to continue to hold the apartment as an investment when we do make it into our forever home. My thought was because there was no loan against the apartment, while we could borrow against the equity, it would be to purchase an own occupy home, which would mean that the loan would be non-tax deductible. But if we had a loan for this property, we would simply fully offset it and we could have used that cash to make the next purchase and we'd have a deductible loan instead. Am I correct in thinking this? And if so, how badly did we screw up? And is there a way to rectify things? Well, Joey, you're bang on. You've got to be careful. If one thing that I could leave, one bit of advice I could leave with people is be really careful about contributing cash towards a property. Because when you first purchase an asset, any asset, including property, how you pay for that asset, you will have to live with that decision for as long as you own that asset. So, for example, using Joey's example, he's put all the cash into the asset. He's got no debt against that asset. There's no way he can re-gear that property. That is, have some tax deductible debt against it in the future. He's quite correct that if he goes and borrows against that asset, it's the purpose for which those borrowings are used that will determine whether it's tax deductible. So if Joey goes and buys his forever home, for instance, because that loan is being used for a non-tax deductible purpose, um, buying a home, it's not going to be tax deductible. What Joey should have done is when he went and first purchased the property, exactly how he said, go and get a loan, go and get an interest-only loan, put all the money in the offset account. Because it's interest only, there's no repayments, and because the loan is fully offset, there's no interest. So he would have been in exactly the same position from a cash flow and tax perspective as he is today. But the benefit is he could always take that money out of the offset account in the future, and then he would incur interest, but that on a loan that was originally used to purchase that property, it would be tax deductible. So what can Joey do to rectify the situation? Well, the only thing he can do is transfer the ownership of the property to re-gear it. Now, if he owns it fully and he has a spouse, for instance, he could sell it to the spouse. Now, the problem with that is it's going to trigger stamp duty and capital gains tax, which isn't ideal. So I'm not really sure what Joey can do. It's probably just a case of suck it up. It's a mistake. Alternatively, maybe given his situation, maybe in the long run he's actually better off to sell this asset to fund the upgrade in the house. If his apartment has achieved some level of growth, well, at least he's no worse off. And you just put it down to a learning exercise. But great question, Joey, and it's a tip for everyone out there. In fact, I have a blog that I've written about loan structure mistakes and tips, and I'll include that in the comment section to this video. Thanks a lot for your question. I'm sorry that the answer isn't what you were hoping for.